Hello and welcome to this session. Today we are going to look at the nucleophilic addition to carbonyl compounds, mainly aldehydes and ketones. First of all, we have to look at the structure of carbonyl group. So the carbon and oxygen, they are bonded with a double bond. These are the p orbitals and another p orbitals will be perpendicular to this. These are two substituents. If one of them is H, that becomes aldehyde. If both are alkyl groups or alkyl and aryl group, then it is ketone. Now first of all, the carbon oxygen bond is having polar nature. Now that polarity is because of the electronegativity difference between carbon and oxygen. Now that becomes a basis for the reactivity of this with various nucleophiles, right from water to the amino compounds. You can add everything, even the sulfur nucleophiles are also listed there, and the driving force for this kind of addition is oxygen is electronegative. So any electrons which are flowing here, the excess charge will go to oxygen. So oxygen can stabilize that negative charge. First of all, it is partial positive on carbon, so that attracts nucleophiles, and oxygen can take up the excess charge. That's why this is the addition reaction. Addition of water demands acidic condition because water is weak nucleophile, and unless the carbonyl group is polarized, it cannot attack. Alcohols, the same story. For thiols also you need at least the weak acids like resin, zeolite, etc. For HCN you don't require anything because H plus will coordinate and CN can attack. NH2OH, the nitrogen nucleophiles are strong enough, they don't require any additional acid conditions. Diols and dithiols, they are like water and alcohol addition, so they require some mild acidic conditions. So first of all, we'll see what that nucleophilic addition means and how the charge goes into that carbonyl group. So if I start with acetaldehyde, let us say the simplest compound. Now this carbonyl group, oxygen has got two lone pairs, and in acidic medium you can donate this and this will become CH3COH plus, and now water can attack because this carbon is more electron deficient because it is having oxygen attached to it, which is having positive charge. So positive charge on oxygen is less stable thing, and because of this what happens is you get the rectification of charge on that oxygen. This becomes OH2 and plus the conjugate base, abstract this and you get the now this is hemiacetal. The water addition is possible only under acidic medium. So that is the reaction mechanism. We'll come to the mechanism part later, the detailed part of the mechanism. Next reagent we have listed was the addition of alcohol. Now addition of alcohol, let us take the alcohol as ethanol, and now this also demands the acidic medium, and now this acidic medium can or acidic condition can make this intermediate. Now this will take up another proton and becomes good leaving group. OH2 plus, and now your C2H5, another molecule, can attack here, this can go off. So that becomes the adduct OC2H5. So for all these additions you require acidic condition to facilitate this kind of attack. The second molecule, water is lost. Now that also demands proton which is coming from the acidic medium, and of course this will attack, and loss of proton also requires conjugate base. So that is how the adduct is formed. Now this is nucleophilic addition of alcohol across the carbonyl group. Next important reaction is the addition of HCN. So I will take some different molecule, and now we are having HCN. Now HCN, once again it is a polarized molecule, and now oxygen lone pair can take up this will go off, and this becomes OH, and now this carbon is highly electrophilic in nature because it is having oxygen which is positive, and then this becomes OH and CN. So this is cyanohydrin formation. So the addition of HCN is taking place. Now this is the attack of cyanide is possible only when this undergoes protonation. There are some more reagents which are listed. I will go for the simple reagent like the addition of ammonia. Now ammonia doesn't require any assistance because it is strong nucleophile, and now you can see that this is the intermediate. Eventually this will lose water molecule and you will have imine. So this is your imine. The other nitrogen nucleophiles which are listed here, they are hydrazine. Now this is hydrazine, this is phenylhydrazine, the other compounds are also there, like if this ring is substituted by nitro at 2,4 position, then this becomes your 2,4-DNP, 2,4-dinitrophenyl hydrazine, and the corresponding derivatives will be hydrazones. So let us look at this. If I take ketone, let us start with acetone. Now both the nitrogens are equally capable of attacking at this carbon, and now you got the loss of water molecule gives you the in NH2. Now this is hydrazone derivative. Now hydrazone derivative, 2,4-DNP derivatives, then semicarbazide derivatives. These are all important derivatives for the functional group detection of aldehydes and ketones if they are present in the if they are synthesized or their presence is detected by this. The same methodology can be applied to phenylhydrazine and 2,4-DNP reagent. Now this is 2,4-dinitrophenylhydrazine, the derivative would be 2,4-dinitrophenylhydrazone and so on. Another derivative, I will just list some. Another reagent is semicarbazide, NH2 NH CONH2. Now this nitrogen can attack these two nitrogens, their lone pair is delocalized here, so their lone pair is not available. So when this interact, obviously you will get a double bond between this nitrogen and the carbon of carbonyl. So this is semicarbazide and it exists as hydrochloride, but under mild base like sodium acetate a free base is generated and this can attack with the carbonyl compound, and that is how you get the semicarbazone derivatives of aldehydes and ketones. Now beside these, the important additions, diols and dithiols. Now these are important because if we start with some aldehyde, let us say we are starting with benzaldehyde and we are having ethylene glycol, of course with some acidic assistance you can get now this is acetal. The reaction between this hydroxyl and carbonyl is possible only when this proton assistance is there. Otherwise, if you add these two compounds, there won't be any reaction. So protonation of this, you can show like this directly, oxygen is positive, and in that case only this oxygen will come into picture. The intermediate, if you want to show, that is going to be, now this is OH, this is OH, CH2, CH2OH. Now this is plus, again it loses proton to conjugate base. This takes a proton from acid and you have in an intermediate which is this one, wherein you are having a bond with one oxygen. Now this is hemiacetal or the intermediate, and now the second oxygen can participate, the water molecule goes off, and I am just skipping one step, loss of water molecule can make it. So a mechanism part is more or less same. It's like adding alcohol, you are adding diol. So two hydroxyl groups are added, but in systematic manner. Now this is one of the protecting group for carbonyl. So carbonyl group is protected, you can remove the proton, do some functionalization. So that is the beauty, or that is the advantage of this kind of protection, which is possible through this kind of approach. Another reaction is the addition of thiol. I will just put one example. Now, this is propane dithiol. Now, propane dithiol can be added, of course, in acidic medium. You can use even Lewis acid like BF3 ethylate, zeolite, cation exchange resin, or your ordinary acid catalysis. CH2 3 times, and then these are the intervening methylates. Then protonation of this and attack of this. So, this goes off and you will end up with a bond. I am just skipping one step here. This is dithion. Now, the dithion protection is very important. You can regenerate it, regenerate carbonyl. You can go to hydrocarbon and so on. So, this can be done with cadmium nitrate, water. This is your Mazinger reaction, wherein this is treated with nickel and hydrogen. So, that is the desulfurization. So, that is the advantage of having dithion protection. Now, the advantage of dithion over the diol protection is this is much more stable than the compound which is obtained as a ketal or acetal from diols. This is much more stable in acidic medium than the oxygen counterpart. Now, beside this, we have to see the formation of oxime. Oxime is nothing but the addition of hydroxylamine across the carbonyl group. Here, this is hydroxylamine. Actually, it exists as hydroxylamine hydrochloride salt, but then in mild base, this free base is liberated and you have NH-OH, and loss of water can make it oxime. Now, this is oxime of cyclohexanone. So, that is this that is how we have covered most of the nucleophiles ranging from oxygen, sulfur and nitrogen. Now, next time we will look into the reaction kinetics part or the mechanistic part, going into the detail of all these reagents, the relative reactivity of the substrates, the reactivity of nucleophile, the possible reaction conditions and so on. Okay. Thank you for today.